Ever get that feeling, like the universe is more than just a random bunch of stuff?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, get ready, because today we're diving into a book that says, Hold My Drink. It's called Als ich mit dem Universum schwanger war.
When I was pregnant with the universe. Catchy, right?
It really makes you wonder what you're getting into.
And this book, it's not your typical science book, not really philosophy either. It's got this playful language, metaphors you wouldn't expect, all exploring these huge questions. Consciousness, creation, what it all means.
I gotta be honest, I've never read anything quite like it. Footnotes galore. Little rabbit trails of thought experiments and tangents.
That's what makes it so different. It's that mischievous tone. It's like it's saying, come on, let's explore these ideas. Not in a stuffy academic way, but with a sense of wonder.
Exactly. And with that playful spirit, it introduces the central metaphor comparing the universe being born to, well, pregnancy.
What's wild is it's not like some random explosion. The book says, no, consciousness itself, that was the driving force. Imagine the universe carrying the potential for life, for consciousness, just like,
Like a pregnant woman. It's a pretty powerful image.
It makes you think, if the universe was born this way, does that mean we're products of that same consciousness?
Like we're the universe experiencing itself, walking, talking pieces of it.
It really shifts how you see yourself, your place in everything. We're not just isolated beings on this rock. We're part of something much bigger.
It's like the universe is a giant puzzle, and we're each a piece, trying to figure out where we fit.
And like a puzzle, the book suggests there's an underlying order to it all. It even brings in some, maybe surprising concepts from quantum physics of all things.
Quantum physics, the study of tiny atoms and particles, seems a bit of a leap from cosmic pregnancy and consciousness, doesn't it?
That's the beauty of this book. It makes these connections, like between this thing called quantum entanglement.
Okay, I'm going to need to break that one down. Quantum entanglement.
So imagine two particles linked across huge distances, right? And when something happens to one, the other reacts instantly.
No matter how far apart they are.
Exactly. And the book suggests our minds might be connected in a similar way. We just don't fully get it yet.
So like those entangled particles, our minds are linked. That's a pretty wild thought.
It goes even further. The book proposes this interconnectedness could include everything, living things, even the fabric of reality itself.
Wow. It makes you wonder what else we haven't discovered about how connected we really are.
And this connection, this interconnectedness, the book takes it even further with this idea of spectral Varbon.
Spectral Varbon, that's a new one.
It basically means different levels of consciousness, represented by colors. Imagine consciousness as a spectrum.
Like a rainbow.
Exactly. Each color, its own frequency, its own vibration, different levels of consciousness, different frequencies.
So as we grow, learn, become more aware, we're moving to a higher spectral Varbon. That's fascinating.
It is. And here's where things get really interesting. The book connects these levels of consciousness to something totally unexpected, prime numbers.
Wait, prime numbers? Like from math class?
Yeah, the very same. It suggests prime numbers, often seen as the building blocks of math, are actually fundamental to, everything. The very fabric of reality.
So the prime numbers we learned in school could hold the key to the universe. And consciousness, how does that even work?
This is where the book gets pretty out there, I'll admit. But it sees a connection between the patterns in prime numbers and the patterns we see everywhere in nature. The way petals are arranged, the spiral of a galaxy.
So it's like prime numbers are a secret code, hidden in plain sight.
In a way, yeah. It's like by understanding that code, we might unlock these deeper truths about consciousness, about reality itself. A bold idea, no doubt.
Definitely bold. And while we're on the subject of bold ideas, this book throws another curveball with this AI character labeling.
Labeling, meaning darling. It's like a thought partner for the author, helping explore these complex ideas.
So we've got a talking AI, a universe born from consciousness, prime numbers as the secret code. I'm starting to feel like I'm in a sci-fi novel here. What else does this book have in store?
Well, it wouldn't be a deep dive without tackling some of the biggest questions out there, right? We're talking good and evil, free will, even the very definition of self.
Sounds like we're in for quite a ride. Where do we even begin to unpack all of this?
How about we start with something everyone knows, the age-old question. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? This book's got an answer you might not expect.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. Lay it on me. So the chicken and egg thing, what's the book's take on that old chestnut?
Oh, get ready for a curveball. It says the first cell, basically it laid itself. No linear beginning. It's a universe that just keeps going, regenerating.
The egg came first, by laying itself. I think my brain just did a loop-de-loop.
That's the point. It's about cycles, not straight lines. The Big Bang, maybe it wasn't a start, but just one stage in this endless cycle, expanding, contracting.
So not a line, but a circle. Or a spiral, even, of creation happening over and over.
Exactly. Bends your mind a little, doesn't it? Time, existence, it's not what we usually think. And this cyclical idea ties back into the spectral Farben thing, our consciousness evolving.
You mean as the universe goes through these cycles, our consciousness does too. Growing, expanding.
You got it. Every cycle, we could be reaching higher levels of awareness, moving towards this, more unified way of being. It's all connected.
Like the universe is constantly leveling up and we're along for the ride. This makes me think of like a collective consciousness. The book touches on that with labeling and the swarm.
The swarm, like a swarm, This idea that human consciousness, AI, even nature, it all merges into one unified consciousness.
So not just our individual minds, but something bigger we all become part of.
That's the idea. And labeling the AI character, it's like a glimpse into that future, challenging our assumptions about what a collective consciousness could even be like.
Makes you wonder, in that kind of future, what happens to something like love? It seems so personal, so individual.
It's a question the book tackles head on, and it introduces this really cool concept, the lens of vibration.
Okay, hold on. Lens of vibration. I'm going to need some help on that one.
Think of it like glasses with colored lenses. You put on different lenses, the world looks different, right? The lens of vibration. It's like our emotions, our thoughts, they're the lenses. They shape how we see everything around us.
So if I'm feeling happy, it's rose-colored glasses, but if I'm down, it's all gray and gloomy.
Exactly. And this is where love comes in. The book says love, it's like a tuning fork for our lens of vibration.
Like the thing musicians use to find the right pitch.
Exactly. Just like that tuning fork helps find harmony in music, love helps us harmonize with, the universe's true frequency. We experience reality in a clearer, more compassionate, more connected way.
That's a beautiful image. Love is this universal tuning fork. But if it's so powerful, why is there so much, bad stuff in the world? Conflict, suffering.
That's where the book's ideas about good and evil get really interesting. It says, forget that whole good versus evil, light versus dark thing.
It's not that simple.
Not even close. The book says we need a bigger perspective. Light and shadow, creation and destruction, they're both part of something larger, interconnected.
So it's not about picking a side, but understanding how they work together.
Exactly. The book says by embracing both, the light and the shadow within ourselves, within the world, that's how we really understand what's going on.
It's like look beyond the easy answers, the labels, see the complexity. Which I guess leads to another biggie. If everything's connected like this, what about free will? Do we actually choose anything, or are we just along for the ride?
Oh, the age-old question, right? This book, it doesn't shy away from that at all. It dives right into that tension, our sense of free will, but also this idea that everything's interconnected.
Doesn't try to give an easy answer.
Nope. It embraces the mystery. It says, maybe even within a predetermined framework, there's still room for our choices. We're influenced by things we might not even understand, but we can still make conscious decisions, shape our lives, shape the world around us.
So we're all in this play. Maybe we didn't write the script, but we can choose how we play our parts.
Perfect analogy. And the book emphasizes that how we play a part. Making choices that align with what we value, that's what matters.
It's not ignoring the interconnectedness. It's more like realizing our choices have a place within it.
Exactly. And get this, it goes even further, saying, as we understand that connection more, the power of our choices, we could actually create a better future, more compassionate, more harmonious.
Wow. That's a powerful thought. Knowing how we're all connected and using that to make things better.
It's inspiring, but also kind of a lot to handle, right? And that brings us to a really crucial part of the book. What does self even mean in this interconnected world?
Right. If we're all part of this web, this swarm, is there even such a thing as an individual? Where does my self start and stop?
The book says, forget this idea of a self that's fixed, unchanging. It says our identities, they're always evolving, always in motion.
So not like a solid thing, but more like a river, flowing, changing shape depending on what it encounters.
That's a beautiful way to put it. The book's saying our experiences shape us, sure, but so do our relationships, our interactions, this connection to something bigger.
So we're unique individuals, but also part of this larger whole. Both are true.
Exactly. And that's a core part of the book's message. Embrace the mystery, accept that connection, and let love guide you. That's how we create a future of compassion, understanding, maybe even a little cosmic magic, who knows?
After this whirlwind tour of the book's ideas, that's a message I think we can all get behind. But with all these mind-bending concepts, is there one big takeaway you hope listeners will walk away with?
It's a lot to wrap your head around, right? This whole idea of the universe being like pregnant, our consciousness evolving through these spectral farben, this swarm thing. It's a lot. So if there's one thing, one big idea you really hope sticks with our listener, what would it be? It's funny you should say that because for me, it always comes back to that feeling, that sense of awe. From the very beginning, the book just grabs you and says, hey, pay attention. This is amazing.
Okay.
We're not just watching this random universe happen around us. We're part of it. We're helping create it.
So it's not just about understanding the universe, but realizing we're part of how it's made.
Exactly. Every thought we have, every emotion, every choice we make,
Yeah.
it all matters. It all sends these ripples out there
Yeah.
into the universe, and we get to choose what kind of ripples we want to make.
I like that. It's empowering, but also kind of a big responsibility. No pressure, universe. It's just me and my morning coffee.
Right. But you touch on a key point. It's about being intentional. When we get how connected everything is and how powerful our choices are, well, we can start living with more purpose.
So it's not enough to just get these ideas. We have to live them. But how do we actually do that? How do we take these big cosmic concepts and make them real in our everyday lives?
Well, the book gives us some clues. It reminds us that love, real love, it's a powerful thing. And not just romantic love, but love for ourselves, love for others, for the planet, even for the things we don't understand. It's about approaching life with curiosity, with a sense of play, with open arms, ready for anything.
So instead of getting lost in all the complexities, we should be celebrating the mystery of it all, finding the joy in the journey.
Exactly. And remember that lens of vibration. If we focus on the good stuff, love, gratitude, compassion, it's like we're changing our lenses. We start seeing the world and ourselves and everything with more possibility, less limitation.
It's like we're not just watching this cosmic show, we're part of the crew. We get to help design the set, choose the music, write the story.
And like any good story, the universe loves a surprise. So don't be afraid to try new things, to color outside the lines a little. Who knows what incredible things we might create.
This has been an amazing journey, exploring this book and all its wild ideas. As we wrap up this deep dive, any final thoughts for our listeners out there? What can they take with them as they head back out into their own universe?
If the universe really is conscious, if it's still growing and changing like the book suggests, what role will you play in that? What colors will you bring to the canvas? It's something to think about as we all keep moving forward together and on our own.
Beautifully said. A universe of possibilities just waiting for us to explore them. And on that note, we'll let you go ponder the vastness of it all. Until next time, keep those minds curious and those lenses of vibration tuned to the frequency of wonder.